Welcome back, or welcome for the first time. In the second part of my festival series, I'll continue reviewing alternative festivals that I've had the fortune of visiting. In this video I will talk about Mera Luna, about Amphi Festival and Infest. Mera Luna was one of the festivals that I visited this year, so here are the headliners of this year. The festival takes place in Hildesheim and is one of the biggest festivals in Germany as well as the world for goth and industrial music. On the lineup you also find quite some metal. During 2 days, something 20-25,000 people gather at an old airstrip to enjoy the subculture. This is the place to go if you want the most massive experience, since the main stage of Mera Luna probably is the biggest festival stage in the world dedicated to this kind of music. On the other hand, it might not be the place to go if you want the more familiar feeling, if you want to recognize the people around you or find a quiet corner to rest. This festival is buzzing, and there are people everywhere. In my first festival video I was talking about VGT, the Wave Gotik Treffen, where everything is spread out and the side activities and parties taking place during the festival are at least as important as the concerts themselves. Mera Luna is the other side of the coin. At this festival everything is concentrated to one single festival area, and the concerts are much more in focus. This means that you don't risk missing out of any bands, since the stages are close together, and well, you won't get lost at this festival as you will probably do at VGT, taking the trams around Leipzig. There are many options for food, and my personal favorite would be the Handbrot at the medieval market. Cheese and bread! What more can you ask for?
Take a bite.
Nothing. It is delicious. If you want to know more about Mera Luna, check my vid from that festival that I made this year. For recommendation, the main option is the campsite. It's just outside of the festival area, it's huge, and this is where the majority of the visitors stay. There are hotels and hostels available, as well as private rentals, but these options are very limited. If you really want to stay indoors, you need to book very early. A compromise could be the glamping option, renting a pre-set up tent with access to electricity, making it kind of a luxury camping. For foreign visitors, the closest airport is Hanover. However, it is worth checking for flights to Hamburg as well, since it's a bigger airport and it might be cheaper depending on where you're flying from. Sure, Hamburg is a bit further away, but the train would take you to Hildesheim in just about 2 hours. The unique upper hand of this festival is that it is so massive, it is mandatory to visit it at least once. It has a great lineup, it's so huge, it's super cool. On the downside, I would say that for me this festival is a bit too short. Only 2 days plus 1 day of pre-party, making me feel that when I'm leaving I've just started getting into the party mode. The second festival is Infest, taking place in Bradford, UK. The headliners are here. I was here this year, so here are the headliners. Infest focuses on alternative electronic music, and many of the bands would qualify as industrial or EBM. This might not be the festival for those of you who go only to see bands. There is only one stage, meaning that the number of bands playing each night is not that big. But Infest sure has some other special qualities. Firstly, the accommodation. Infest takes place at Bradford University, and it is possible to rent a quite cheap room for the weekend in the student halls, since the students are away for the summer. This means that while you have close to the venue and you stay together with other festival visitors, you still get the luxury of staying indoors. For those of you who are too comfortable to camp at festivals, but still really wants to party, this might be the perfect compromise. Infest also has its own karaoke bar, which makes for a great party, and it is a fun break between watching bands. Furthermore, I'd say that the British people are almost as good at partying as the Swedes. This means that there will be great dance floors and that the after parties will be going on until late in the commune areas of the student housing.
The party is dead! Long live the after party!
After the festival closes at 3 in the morning, the after parties, they go on for quite a while.
7 AM, after party still going. Totally acceptable.
It is worth noting that if you want to stay in the halls and not after party a lot, I think it is possible to request a quiet part of the housing. But that also takes away half of the fun, I would say. For traveling, the best way for forum visitors is to fly to Leeds Bradford Airport or to Manchester, which might be cheaper. We actually flew to London and did rent a car from there. That worked fine as well. Well, it took us the whole day to drive up since we were stopping at plenty of nice places along the way. It should be possible to do it in about 4 hours. For recommendation, I really recommend the student halls, they were modern, they were clean and they were close to the venue. However, nothing is included. You need to bring your own bedding and essentials such as toilet paper and soap. If you want more luxury, there are hotels available nearby though. There are a number of unique upper hands of this festival. I'd say the after-show party was the best one of all the festivals that I went to this summer. Also, the proximity from the student halls was really nice, and I loved the karaoke bar. Also, the prices for drinks and food were decent. On the downside, I would mention that there are not as many bands playing as at many other festivals, but at least for me, it was enough. The third festival is Amphi, taking place in Cologne, Germany. It's the 6th and last festival in this series, and while it was a while since I was there, it would be a shame not to mention it. Actually, this was the first international festival that I went to. It was a great adventure and it surely is a nice place to visit. But after visiting many other festivals, this one is not one of my favorites. Together with VGT and Mera Luna, this is one of the 3 major German festivals in the scene. The lineup is slightly more oriented towards electronic music than the other 2 ones though. Amphi takes place in the pretty city of Cologne. It has 2 stages, one indoors and one outdoors, as well as a beach bar where you can see goths lying around in the sun sipping drinks. While the lineup of the festival normally offers a great deal of good music, I never really got into my best festival mood while being at this festival. For me, this festival feels a bit too much like going just to a big concert compared to go to a festival. However, it is worth mentioning that the last time I went to Amphi, the festival was organized at another venue than a normal one. This venue was basically a big indoor arena which felt incredibly sterile and didn't fit the festival at all. This means that my general impression of Amphi was quite ruined. Luckily, the festival is now moved back to its original location. I think that what I am missing at this festival is all the culture that takes place around the concerts at many other festivals. One of the first impressions that I got from Amphi back in 2012 was reading some kind of information booklet, which was saying basically that the campsite was supposed to be quiet after 10 or 11 in the evening. That doesn't make for a great party, in my opinion. Luckily, we stayed at the hotel since we had been warned that the campsite of Amphi was not a very fun place to stay at. With all this said, I still think that Amphi is a good festival and I wouldn't say no to giving it a third chance. But it wouldn't be my first option when prioritizing which festivals to go for this next summer. However, I do have friends that think that this is one of the best festivals of the year. For recommendation, since Amphi takes place in a big city, there are plenty of hotels and hostels. There is also a campsite. For international visitors, fly to Cologne or to Düsseldorf. The train from Düsseldorf only takes a short while, and it might be cheaper to fly to Düsseldorf depending on where you come from. The unique upper hands of this festival is the cool beach bar, and of course, this is one of the major festivals in Germany within the Goth industrial whatever scene. On the downside, at least for me, I never really got my festival mood up here. It's not my favorite, but I'm willing to try it again. That was all the festivals. This video is part of a video series consisting of 4 videos. In the third one I will talk about how to afford festivals, how to travel on a budget and how to plan ahead. In the fourth one I will talk about what to think about when actually going to the festival in question. Make sure not to miss out on that. What I'm trying to say is basically subscribe if you haven't already. If you still have questions or are curious, after publishing my videos I host a live stream where I tell you everything that was cut out of the video and you have the possibility to ask questions. This is available to all my Patreon supporters, which also is the place where the stream will be archived after the actual stream. Check it out. Why not check it out? This was everything for now. I hope I'll see you later. Bye.